Well, hello. Welcome to my kitchen. If you're new here, I'm Tina with Hanging with Frugal Tina. Welcome to everybody. So, if you watched any of my videos, you know that I sub out ground turkey for ground beef all the time. Because the price is too high, I'm on a fixed income. And until the prices come down or I catch a really good sale, I'm going to keep doing that. But then I started thinking about what kind of recipes are out there that actually call for ground turkey or call for ground chicken, which is a little bit more than the ground turkey. But so I started thinking about recipes I've made before. I started looking on Google, looking at, just different places all over the place to see if I could find something. And then I remembered this recipe that I made ages ago, before YouTube. My kids were little. I don't even really remember if we liked it or not. But I think I'm going to give it a go today. This meal is to be served over rice or potatoes or maybe even pasta if you so choose. It does come with a sauce. Now for us, we like a lot of sauce. So I'm going to up the sauce in it, but I'll leave in the description box below the actual recipe of what I'm doing because I always do something different. That's just how I do. So without further ado, let's get it, let's go. Let's see those pots, come on. Okay, here we go. Almost all of these items are a staple, with the exception of the sesame seed. I've had that forever, and it just doesn't seem to go away. So I bought it maybe a year or so ago, and I still have that almost the entire bag. So what do you need for this meal? The things that you would have to buy if you don't already have these ingredients in your house would be the ground turkey and the rice. The things that were pantry staples are the chicken broth in the back, or the bouillon, rice wine vinegar, sesame oil, honey, sesame seed, some vegetable spray in the back, some low sodium soy, cornstarch, breadcrumbs, ground ginger, minced garlic, and some minced onions. Or you could use scallions. I don't have scallions. Or you could use a regular onion, or you can use onion powder. You will also need 1 egg. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the rice in the Instant Pot. All right, for the Instant Pot, I'm going to I added that whole bag of rice. I'm adding 4 cups of water to that. This is not part of the recipe. This is a Tina thing. I'm going to add the equivalent to cooking it in chicken broth. So I did 4 teaspoons. And we're just going to let that do its thing in here. I'll show you how we're going to set it. That rice was so dirty. I had to wash it so many times. All right. I'm going to stir that a little bit, and I'll bring it back down lower so you can see what I'm doing. Just had to give it a good whisking so it breaks up a little bit. All right. So you put the lid on. Seal it up. You put it on sealing, not vent. Start. Oh, wait. It's not sealed in. Hold on. Okay, so you're going to push start. And then we're going to go to number 3 because it says rice right there, number 3. Boom, boom. And that's that. There you go. Okay, here we go. We're going to add the ground chicken. We're going to add 1/3 of a cup of minced onion or scallion if you have it. I don't. 1/4 of a cup of breadcrumbs. A tablespoon of soy. 2 teaspoons sesame oil. Then 1 beaten egg. And we're going to mix that up. I got some gloves on my hands today. And if it's too wet, I can always add more breadcrumbs. All right, so I'm going to give that a big mix to get it all incorporated. Try not to over mix. That's why I'm kind of just using the tips of my fingers, because this could get dense real quick. All right, let that do its thing while we prepare for the other stuff. Let me let that sit for a minute. Okay, so I let it sit for a little bit to let the breadcrumbs do its thing. It's not doing it. So it might be the type of breadcrumb I'm using. So I crushed up some more breadcrumbs. And I'm just going to add it in just to see. This is not my recipe that we're following. I will change it and make it my own, but I think we just needed just a little bit more breadcrumb in there. So that was a 1/4 cup and then half of another 1/4. Because I don't want to make it too dense. All right. So the recipe says make about 10 meatballs. I'm going to do the mini meatballs, so it probably will make more than that, but we'll see. Let me get out the scooper. All right, I have a small mini muffin pan. That's what I'm going to use. You could use a sheet pan. It really doesn't matter. Just spray it, so because you're using these chicken. I'm going to use this little scoop so that they're all about the same size. I just push it in, make it level, and roll it up. And then I'm going to stick these right inside there. It's an easy way of doing very small meatballs. So I'm going to do all of those. I'm just going to repeat until I run out of meat. And we'll see how many that gives me. Rolled up. I know I just rolled it off camera, right? Just very gently. It's not as firm as beef is, but there you go. Onward, forward. All right, there you go. I got 36 meatballs using that cookie scoop. I'm going to put those in a 400-degree oven for 18 to 20 minutes, and then we'll start working on the sauce about halfway through. Okay, I got these out in time. I forgot to go in and rotate them so they were getting a good sear on them. Luckily, it wasn't all of them, but they're on there. I like that little bit of sear on it, though, but I didn't want it like that all the way around. So that one and the other one is over there. Because we are the saucy family, I am quadrupling the sauce. It calls for a 1/4 cup of chicken stock. I have 2 cups. So everything I'm going to be quadrupling, but I will leave the recipe down below. A 1.5 teaspoons of ginger. 1.5 teaspoons of garlic. A tablespoon of white wine vinegar. 1/4 cup of honey. I have to add more in there, but that's what I had. Let me add the rest of the honey in there, and I'll be right back. Okay. I goofed up on the measurement for the chicken broth. What I said a 1/4 cup. It was a 1/2 cup. So 4 halves is 2 cups. All right, so that, I'm gonna give that a whisk, and then we're gonna mix together some cornstarch and water. And then we're gonna put this over and get it to thicken. All right, so I have some cornstarch there. I'm going to add some water to it and give it a mix, and we're going to add it to the broth. Oops. Well, usually you could just rub your hands like that. Today it's not happening. It wants to go everywhere. All right. So I'm going to add that in there. That's nothing floating there. I had to use a spoon that I used because it was thickening up, so there's no cacas in there. All right. So we're going to whisk this together, and then we're going to move over to the stove. Okay, let's move it on over. All right. Rice is done. We're going to move over to the vent. So nothing happened there, so it's good and depressurized, I guess. And then we're going to go to the, oop. Whoa, that rice looks good. Hold on a second. I don't know if you could see it in there. Can't get up any higher than I am. There you go. I'm going to give that a good fluffing, and I'm going to keep it on the keep warm setting. So we're just going to turn on the oven, and we're going to wait for it to start to bubble. And when it starts bubbling, we'll reduce the heat a little bit and wait for it to thicken. And then we're going to drop the balls in there. All right, so we got a little bit of a bubble going on there, and we're going to keep moving this around. And, ooh, starting to clump up in the bottom there. Goodness. We're going to reduce the heat, and we're just going to let this thicken just a little bit. Whoa. All right, when it reduces just a little, I'll show you. Yeah, it started to stick on the bottom. I wasn't paying it no mind. Make sure you watch it. Okay, all better. I thought it was going to be stuck on the bottom, but it's not. I just need to stir it. You see that it's starting to thicken a little bit? So we're going to turn off the heat, and we're going to get the meatballs and drop them down in there. So we're just going to start dropping the meatballs down in there. And we're going to let them soak a little bit in there. Woo! Man overboard! Where'd it go? Ow, that pan was hot. All right, let me add those all in there, and I'll show you what it looks like when they're in there. This is why I never just follow the recipe, because there's never enough sauce for my family. I still have almost a whole pan of meatballs to put in that sauce. That's why I just don't think it's enough. But do as you will when you get the recipe. All right, let me get the rest of those in there. Alrighty, they're all in there. Maybe it was enough, I don't know. I always think we need extra gravy. All right, so those are gonna sit in there and soak. I'm gonna get the rice out of the Instant Pot. I'll show you what that looks like. And it's time to plate up. I'm gonna pair it with a side salad. All right, so I put about 5 meatballs down there. That's an ish. I'm gonna take some of this gravy. This is why I like the gravy, because the meatballs taste good and the rice has some chicken flavoring. But for me, it needs a gravy, it needs a sauce, it needs something. So, in we go with a nice topping. And this is yummy, guys. I've already tasted the broth, or the whatever we're calling gravy. Very good. I didn't taste all of it, but I did taste that. All right, so I'm going to dress this up. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. You know what I forgot to do? To toast the seeds. I forget them all the time. That's why there's so many there, because I forget. All right, so that's what it's looking like. It's soaking up into the rice. Put a little bit more on there. I'm going to put a little bit of parsley on it for some color, for the pretty. put too much on there. And then I'm going to put a pinch of sesame seed. I'll toast it for the others, but there you go. That's going to be our dinner with a side of rice. Not a side of... with a side salad. All right, I'm going to meet you at the table. If you get any benefit at all from my content, you can help me out by clicking like, share, commenting, and definitely hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. We're at the table. It's a lot of food.
It is.
It's a lot. I'm going to cut my meatball in half. We're just going to go right in. I got mine covered in gravy. I love gravy on mine. I'm going to do a quarter of a ball. You got it? Mm-hmm. You let go that whole meatball, huh? Mm-hmm. It's going in. All right. Hold on. My goodness, hold on. I just want to check, see if it's too hot. It's a little hot. All right. Let's go for it. Mmm.
Wow.
Mmm. That's good. That's yummy. Even just the rice is good.
That's amazing. I really like it.
Mm-hmm. He's never had this because this is like, this goes way, way, way back.
I like the sauce.
You like it? Yeah. If you chop the meatballs up, it'll go a little bit farther, but he only wanted 4 meatballs. I got, well, I had 5, but all right. Well, let me get the rest fed and we'll see what they think about it. Bye-bye. Dinner's over. How'd they do? Boom! I told you we were the saucy family. There is barely a drop left in there. Those kids loved that sauce. So let's see what they thought about the meal as a whole. Was it enough food and was it good? Trey said, because he was already here and left, it was delicious, it was enough food, he was full and left. So who's next? Aiden, I'm going to ask all you the same question. Was it enough food and did you like it? I don't care which order you answer it in. Ready? You go first, Aiden.
I loved it.
Was it enough food?
Yes, it was enough food.
Okay. Eric, same question.
It was amazing, and yes, it was enough food.
Thank you. Tyler?
It was great, and it was enough food.
Nikki, baby?
It was amazing, and it was definitely enough food.
Yeah, you were full, weren't you? Jessica, same question.
Oh man, I loved it, loved it, loved it. I want more. But there's no more.
Do you want more because you're hungry or because you just want more?
No, I just want more.
Oh, okay.
And the rice, it was so good.
Yeah.
It was sweet, it was nice.
Nice. All right.
Nice.
I like that one. Blaze, what'd you think about dinner? It wasn't enough food.
It was good, and yes, it was enough food.
Alrighty. For me, I liked it a lot. The salad was good with it. I didn't eat all mine, so it was definitely enough food for me. But there you have it. I hope you try it. I hope you like it. Leave me a comment either way. Don't forget, like and subscribe. See you later. Bye.